wonderful and most dedicated practitioners we have. We have Lori Sheffer, hi there, Mary Madison Heskin, and Karen Hibble tonight, and very exciting night. Tonight we are going to start with Lori Sheffer, and Lori is an Andean shamanic practitioner, psychic medium, and vocal sound channeler. She's going to begin with a discussion on the energy of love, living in the Munay. I try to practice that, which is a Quechua word for love. So very exciting, and I'm very excited to have you all share this with us. The practitioners have been working very hard and have donated their time to us today for this great cause. So, Lori, I'm going to have you take it away.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. If anyone's out there and never seen, I do a lot of TikToks online, and over yesterday I did one on love and the importance of opening our hearts and loving ourselves. So we're going to go into that. But first of all, I just want to take a moment to connect with each and every one of you that is listening and watching right now. Oh, just inviting you in, your energy, come on in, allow that energy to just come into this etheric space that we're creating tonight, to be present in this moment with us. That's a really important thing for our mental health, by the way, to make sure that we are present and available. Often many of us try to make ourselves available for others, but we're not very good at making ourselves available for ourselves. So that's what I want to start with. I am an Andean shamanic practitioner. I began to study Andean shamanism back in 2010. It's a tradition that dates back to the Inca, and the story goes that these beautiful indigenous people, the Quechua, were high up in the Andes Mountains above Cusco, Peru, and they were able to keep this knowledge alive because they were so far up in the mountains, no one even knew they were there. And they started to come down in the 1940s and to bring it because they received a message from spirit and the way that they speak with spirit from the ancestors. And they said it was time to bring this down because we were going to be facing some issues, and we are currently, that are going to need us to be able to live from the heart, to be able to communicate with each other. And the only way we're going to survive is if we work together as a human race. And so with, Mother Earth and with all that is, it's really important to understand that in the Andean tradition, that everything is energy, that we are composed of energy, that everything is energy. So we're not separate. We're not separate from the earth. We're not separate from the divine. We're not separate from each other. We actually are all energy. Now we contain this energy in this body. And as we look at the earth and we look at the trees, we often walk around thinking, oh, there's a tree. That's a beech tree. That's an oak tree. There goes a raccoon. Oh, this is a beautiful pond. But we sometimes in our busy lives, especially for those of us who live around concrete and live in cities, we become disconnected and lose the understanding that we're all part of the same thing. And within that becomes a loneliness. It is easy to feel alone. And I know I have some beautiful mental health practitioners on here with me tonight. And with COVID, more and more people began to feel alone and isolated and disconnected. So what I want to work with you tonight is to begin to reconnect. The first thing I want to reconnect you with is yourself. I receive a lot of people into my private practice who are looking for a connection to their soul, who are feeling lost in what they're going to do next, who are feeling like the journey they're on in their life has hit a brick wall, or maybe always was a little lost, and they're really looking for a way to live more authentically, to live a path, to walk a path that they feel is making a difference, that they feel brings them joy, that brings them connection with others. Many of us throughout our lives have had situations where we have faced traumas and difficulties that have taught us not to trust, that have taught us that it's safer if we keep our guard up because then no one can hurt us. So I, in a little bit, am going to take you on a little bit of a journey into your heart. So what we're looking at here is something called Munay. And Munay is a verb. It's to love, but it's much, much bigger. Munay is the energy of love. And we know that what we put out to the world, we also bring back to us. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the work, and I forget the name of the individual who did it, around water. And the idea that if you like put the word love on the water and you put love into the water, it's a different vibration. The molecules change versus other words. And this is sort of the same thing with this. This is the same thing with this. When we put love into us, the vibration of love, then that grows within us. So how do we grow the vibration of love? We first of all have to be willing to look at what we're holding in us. Those places of anger, of distrust, and we begin to the sadness, and we begin to really travel within to go, okay, so you look at anger, and there are these places where you have suffered trauma that your response has become to be anger may have been the thing that saved you, or you're just angry about that, or you feel defeated, that no matter what, I just can't get ahead. I don't care what I do. My health continues to suffer. I'm trying so hard and nothing's changing. When we focus on that, when we constantly, and I got all my aches and pains too. And I do know, though, that the more I focus on my aches and pains, that they take up more space in me. So I really try instead to look at what I'm doing right, to bring in things that I call the sweetness, not to eat too much chocolate, though. I'm really bad at that. So what I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to do a journey with you, and I want to activate your heart center. And through that, I just want to take you into your heart. Now, I know your heart is this muscle right in here. And yes, it's physical, but we're talking about the heart center that is, often we think of it as a chakra. In the way of the Inca, the Quechua, there are actually three centers. And there is the center of the Yankai, the Munay, and the Yankee. And so we've got the third eye, we have the heart, and we have the stomach. And the stomach is where our belly button is. And that's our navel. I mean, think about when you were born, you had that cord that connected you with your mother. When that cord is cut, oftentimes there's a disconnection that occurred, or that's where you're drawing in all the negative energy. So that disconnect becomes more and more so. So it's important to work on all the things that you're holding within you. But for now, we're going to start with our heart. I hope I'm making sense. So I'm going to ask you to become comfortable. Closing your eyes and allowing yourself to settle. You can take a nice big deep breath, and then bring it in, and then release it in your own speed. Let's do it again. All the way down, down, down to your feet, and then let it release slowly. This time, bring it in, knowing that you're going to connect yourself to the earth, bringing the air in all the way to your toes, and knowing that your feet now are being connected with our sacred mother. Oh, and in that connection, feel a shift begin to occur. It's as if we have shifted into a different space. We're in this beautiful cave, this gorgeous cave with these crystals coming down, dripping down, sort of frozen in time on the ceiling. There's a water that is dribbling through, this beautiful tiny little stream that's going through. And there's a rhythm. It's the rhythm of the heart. Thump, 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 thump. And take your hands now, if you will, put them on your heart. And let's just take a moment, feeling your breath in your own rhythm of your heart. There's a beautiful vibration and frequency in your heart, several actually in this heart center. And in this cave, you may be feeling different emotions. Maybe warm and lovely, or it may be comfortable. Maybe there's shadows in the corners somewhere. It feels a little bit brighter than somewhere else. Allowing yourself to feel that discomfort. Taking your hands on your chest and just beginning to pull away, pulling away, and begin to literally pull the energy off of you that you feel does not serve you. Allowing the feelings of sadness, anger, if there's despair, any of those emotions that you feel are holding you back, not allowing you to feel happiness and joy, contentment, allowing those emotions to leave you because there's a vibration coming from these crystals. Oh, yeah. Allow the vibration to begin to help you to move this negative energy, this dense energy. The cave is soaking it in, is taking it from you. Oh, to feel your heart begin to expand, your heart center. It's like that in the end of the Grinch, where the heart gets too big for the, when it breaks. Boing. Feel your heart begin to expand. Oh, the cave. It's like there's a glow, this beautiful, soft glow that is just becoming bigger. Allow yourself to feel. Activating this heart center. Within this cave, allowing yourself to feel the warmth. A child has appeared, and the child is over there next to the stream, playing in the stream. The child is you, an aspect of you. Oh, you may feel some pain that this child has suffered, something this child went through that made her feel, him feel, them feel like they were not worthy, like they were afraid, like they couldn't have fun. There they are, playing in that stream. Not afraid, not alone. Having fun. Look at them, digging in there. There's all these stones in there. They're having a blast. All these bright, bright objects. Allowing yourself to walk over to them. Kneeling down. Looking yourself, this beautiful young self, in the eyes. Hello, can I play with you? Giving them the space and the time they need to say yes. You now looking into this stream with them. Look how everything glistens and glitters, and there's light coming from this stream. And this beautiful child wants you to reach in and play with the stones. You're picking them up. Notice that the child is holding this one particular stone, as it is so amazing. The crystals and the cluster with it, the beautifulness. And the child is bringing it to you. Look at this child. Look at them in the eyes. They're offering this to you. An offering of love, of joy, of playfulness. You are willing to accept this beautiful, beautiful gem. Cup your hands around this child's. As the child puts it in your hands, with laughter and joy, giving it to you. There are more, they say. Don't worry, there are tons. We can do this again and again and again. I'm so excited. Look at them all. Let's start with this one. Bringing this one up to your mouth and blowing your breath onto it. Feeling the warmth in your hands of your breath. Now bringing that to your heart. This beautiful crystal of love and joy and wonder. Breathing in the power of this crystal. And as you do, feeling your heart center begin to expand around it to bring it right. You may feel places that are resistant against it. That's okay. Just breathe and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And then allowing for more room within you with joy and love and abundance, knowing that you can bring in more and more, more and more, reconnecting these aspects of yourself, feeling more wonder and more joy, more childlike, more love. With gratitude, we thank your child. With love, we look upon them. I so love you. I love you. I love you. Breathe in again. And as we do, we give gratitude to this cave, to our mother, to our sacred mother, to the mother of our birth, no matter what experience we had in life. Gratitude to the divine, gratitude to ourselves. So we begin now to re-notice our bodies and coming back into this moment, knowing that we have recollected and we have began the expansion of our hearts with love and blessings and gratitude. We thank you and we thank ourselves. Aho.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Lori, just want to say a few things to you about this. One is this is perfect for your mental health. We do need to touch on to our childlike sense of wonder, our inner child, and heal it, because that is especially for a lot of us, where some of our traumas and things come from. And, this is such a beautiful piece to start tonight off with. And, tell me a little bit about how you, sort of came up with this practice and where you got it from.
When I started my into shamanism at the time, I tell the story of how I had been told I had begun work at a public school and was in my third year. And, I was doing so good. I was getting all this praise and everything was going great. And suddenly new administration. And suddenly I was told I wasn't going to get tenure that year and had to have a fourth year. And then it began this process. There were other things going in my life as well. We had been raising someone else's children, and one had left. So there are all these things going on in my life. And what happened was all these old traumas in me were activated, and I began to feel like I couldn't do anything right. And all these old things that had happened to me were rising up. And then the administration just began to and I'm not a crier. I was crying all the time. I just felt like such a failure. And then I found, shamanism. So for that last year, the fourth year of this job, I was actually in this practice. And what was happening was I was so activated that it actually was easier for me to access the pain and also to confront myself. And it was a process that took many years. And in being able to look in the mirror and like myself, and to be able to go, and I did the practice of you are worthy, and to not allow myself to judge myself. I was big into a book called The Four Agreements, and one of the big ones is be impeccable with your word to yourself and to others. And I practiced that, and I created this practice. And through time, I moved on to another teaching job, and it's been a huge part of me. I talk about teaching with aloha, teaching with love, no judgment. Let's not project. If a child makes a mistake, then okay, if something goes, let's deal with it, but let's not carry it through. Let's not judge them on that. Even if they've had a series of difficulties, let's not project that they're going to end up in prison in 5 years.
Right.
We have to do that with us. We need to start with us. The same process we have to do with ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, and that is so important, especially coming from your experience as a teacher, as a foster parent, as a child yourself. I mean, how important and how impressionable that side of us or children are. And, the healing really does start there. And it's just amazing. And if for any of you, as I mentioned, Lori is a practitioner on our EvolvMe site. She does many amazing services and practices. She even has an LGBTQ plus group with another practitioner, Sam, on Thursdays. So she is running the gambit of healing. And so definitely check her out on EvolvMe. Would you want to let the audience know, what services you offer currently? Yeah.
So I'm a medium as well as a shamanic practitioner, and so I would, if you come to me, you can have the intent. You can say that maybe you lost your mom, or you lost a loved one, and you want to do some work around that. We can also, oftentimes I find that leads right into something else. When we lose someone as a parent or a child, we lose an aspect of ourselves, or even like I've lost brothers, and we lose a piece of ourselves, so we have to find a way to heal that. They're always with us. So work like that with soul work, like we sort of just did here, bringing in, and also the shamanic piece of healing traumas of some people come to me once to receive messages as a medium, and some people are now coming to me and saying, I really want to work with you on an ongoing basis. I want to really begin to heal these. And I actually have a few people who are beginning to say, oh, I want to learn more. So I'm also developing classes, especially around journey work, using journey work as a way to connect with our soul and receive messages.
I love it. Yeah. And, especially journey work, I think is so valuable, and also creating those symbols for, ways to heal. Yeah. Honestly, this, Lori, I've actually worked with her a couple of times. She's an amazing practitioner, and, especially combining shamanism and mediumship is just, it makes sense, right? With what you do. So definitely check her out. It's Lori Sheffer, and you can direct message her if you don't see, an available day that she's open. So definitely check her out on the EvolvMe site and on Evolving View, which is every Monday. We have a bunch of us practitioners just putting it all out there, unfiltered.
And we did a great one last night that you can actually go back to and watch. It was on What is Spirituality, and it was, I think, our best one yet. And and so you can find that. I know it's available on Restream or on a couple of sites that you can look at our ones.
Absolutely, on YouTube and Facebook. So just check us out there. And yeah, definitely check it. I got a chance to see it. I couldn't make it last night, and I was very sad because you guys just really such an interesting conversation, just awesome. So yeah. I'm mad.
Yeah, but, and last night was a good one because our stories, our lives, I like to think they're tapestries, and we don't. It's like you live many different books. You have different books, and your life is like a library, and you can choose when you're done, right? You can close the book. Now you're going to go back, you're going to reference it, but you don't have to be stuck in the story. And that's the cool part. Or like a tapestry, and you may look at your tapestry and go, this area over here, oh my, who's in charge of that weaving? I don't like that at all. Well, guess what? Here's some beautiful new thread. Well, go ahead, honey. You can redo it. And you get to weave in beautiful strands into your tapestry, because this is what you're wrapping around you now, is the energy. And it's back to love. It's the energy of love.
Absolutely. And when you love yourself, you regain that power. So often do we lose that power through traumas and life experiences, that sometimes we need to come back to our power. And what better way to do that than going back to your inner child, right?
That's right.
Well, thank you so much. Yes. And I'm
just going to tell anybody. So guys, next time there's a mud puddle, you don't have to walk around it. Just go right through it, especially in the summertime. Do you guys remember that? Remember how much you loved it?
Yes. I will tell you, we just did an EvolvMe retreat. And one thing I want to mention is that I was looking at how beautiful we were in Nevada, and I was looking at how beautiful the landscape was. And I said, boy, I really want to just run screaming through this field. And one of the practitioners, Melanie, goes, "Let's just do it." So we stopped the car, and I just like at the top of my lungs, screaming and running like a crazy person. But nobody's around, nobody could see. But boy, did that feel good. Just going back to something if there were mountains or hills around, I would have rolled down those too. But yeah, going back and being a kid again, jumping through puddles, playing in them for a little bit too, is fun. So yes, and you always bring me back to that childlike sense of wonder, Lori. So thank you so much for that.
All right, beautiful blessings, everybody.